Spend each day trying to be a little wiser than you were when you woke up. The game of life is the game of everlasting learning. At least it is if you want to win. Take a simple idea and take it seriously. I constantly see people rise in life who are not the smartest, sometimes not even the most diligent, but they are learning machines. They go to bed every night a little wiser than they were when they got up, and boy does that help, particularly when you have a long run ahead of you. The first rule is that you can't really know anything if you just remember isolated facts and try and bang them back. The iron rule of nature is, you get what you reward for. If you want ants to come, you put sugar on the floor. Mimicking the herd invites regression to the mean. Our job is to find a few intelligent things to do, not keep up with every damn thing in the world. The great lesson in microeconomics is to discriminate between when technology is going to help you and when it's going to kill you. To the man with only a hammer, every problem looks like a nail. A great business at a fair price is superior to a fair business at a great price. Almost all good businesses engage in pain today, gain tomorrow activities. I like things to work. And if you want to understand the world, you should push your limits, demand an explanation, and exhaust alternatives. You don't have to be brilliant, only a little bit wiser than the other guys. On average, for a long time. An idea or a fact is not worth more merely because it's easily available to you. The safest way to try and get what you want is to try and deserve what you want. All intelligent investing is value investing. We all are learning, modifying, or destroying ideas all the time. Rapid destruction of your ideas when the time is right is one of the most valuable qualities you can acquire. A lot of success in life and business comes from knowing what you want to avoid. Early death, a bad marriage, etc. The older I get, the more I realize I'm kind of an idiot. Tell me where I'm going to die so I won't go there. You need a different checklist and different mental models for different companies. I can never make it easy by saying, here are 3 things. You have to derive it yourself to ingrain it in your head for the rest of your life. All I want to know is where I'm going to die so I'll never go there. It is not greed that drives the world, but envy. You are not going to get very far in life based on what you already know. A great business at a fair price is superior to a fair business at a great price. If you get into the mental habit of relating what you're reading to the basic structure of the underlying ideas being demonstrated, you gradually accumulate some wisdom. The right way to think is the way mathematician Carl Jacobi thought: invert. Always invert. It takes character to sit with all that cash and do nothing. I didn't get to where I am by going after mediocre opportunities. The big money is not in the buying and the selling, but in the waiting. In my life, I've never seen a successful person who wasn't a reader. Have a margin of safety, a Graham precept, makes sense in all aspects of life. You don't want to go through life with a margin of safety. You want to go through life with a lot of buffers. You've got a lot of hedges. You need redundancy. The best thing a human being can do is to help another human being know more. If you took our top 15 decisions out, we'd have a pretty average record. It wasn't hyperactivity, but a hell of a lot of patience. You stuck to your principles, and when opportunities came along, you pounced on them with vigor. The best armor of old age is a well-spent life preceding it. You've got to have models in your head. And you've got to array your experience both vicarious and direct on this latticework of models. You don't have to pee on an electric fence to learn not to do it. Mimicking the herd invites regression to the mean. The big money is not in the buying or selling, but in the waiting. If you're capable of understanding the world, you have a moral obligation to become rational. If you took our top 15 decisions out, we'd have a pretty average record. It wasn't hyperactivity, but a hell of a lot of patience. You stuck to your principles, and when opportunities came along, you pounced on them with vigor. The model I like to sort of simplify the notion of what goes on in a market for common stocks is the pari mutuel system at the racetrack. The ability to destroy your ideas rapidly instead of slowly when the occasion is right is one of the most valuable things. You have to work hard on it. Ask yourself, what are the arguments on the other side? It's bad to have an opinion you're proud of if you can't state the arguments for the other side better than your opponents. I constantly see people rise in life who are not the smartest, sometimes not even the most diligent, but they are learning machines. They go to bed every night a little wiser than they were when they got up, and boy does that help, particularly when you have a long run ahead of you. The best thing a human being can do is to help another human being know more. Develop into a lifelong self-learning through voracious reading. In my whole life, I have known no wise people who didn't read all the time. None. Zero. You only have to get rich once. The best thing a human being can do is to help another human being know more. It is remarkable how much long-term advantage people like us have gotten by trying to be consistently not stupid, instead of trying to be very intelligent. The big money is not in the buying or selling, but in the waiting. Spend less than you make. Always be saving something. Put it into a tax-deferred account. Over time, it will begin to amount to something. This is such a no-brainer.